Joining us on the line from the NBA Gambling Podcast, Mr. Lonte Smith. Lonte, what's happening?
My guys, what's good, man? I'm doing good. Glad we got some NBA to talk about.
Yeah, it was. I mean, again, what happened to the NBA we knew and loved?
David Stern.
We're David Stern, Scott Foster. I mean, these would both be 7-game series. Instead, we almost had a double sweep. Of course, Minnesota did pull out the victory, got it back home to Minnesota. Now, your first instinct would be like, okay, this is a good bounce back spot for Minnesota, but now we're seeing Mavs catching 5 points, total sitting at 209.5. Money line is plus 160 for the Mavs. I don't know. The Minnesota Timberwolves have been kind of bad at home. Obviously, they lost 2 games to the Mavs. They lost 2 games to the Nuggets at home. And even though they beat the Mavs, I don't know. There's still a bunch of issues. Rudy Gobert, aka the Maginot Line, as I call him. I mean, that's a great reference for my WW2 fans, Ryan.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say we do have a very deep knowledged audience.
Some people will certainly get the Maginot Line reference, but Timberwolves back home laying 5. Are you buying into the T-Wolves here, Lonte?
Yeah, man, I like the T-Wolves in the spot simply because I think that Dallas is hitting somewhat of a little wall. Maybe they so basically what happened was the offensive rating for Minnesota going into the fourth quarter has been really high. And when they get in the fourth quarter, they only have Ant to close. And so it drops significantly, like close to like 10 to 15 points. So they're struggling with that offense in the fourth quarter. But I think they kind of had some kinks to fix that. And most of that has to do with Ant getting off of Kyrie and on to Luka, which, I mean, to me, I think it's idiotic that he's playing either one of those guys full time. But I mean, whatever. I would put him on somebody else, like maybe Derek Jones, and have him like roam around so he can spend more time catching his breath and scoring what we need him to do offensively. So I think that tweak kind of helped, and I think we've yet to see a full Minnesota game yet, and we've seen a couple of those from Dallas. So I think that kind of corrects itself. Numbers getting bit pretty much. I mean, Minnesota's been getting bit all series, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and get in on Minnesota like I am, I mean, lock in at 5. You might can find a 4.5 as well.
Shop around, find that 4.5. Ryan, what's your take on this?
I mean, it does seem I feel bad. I was gonna use stronger language, but I don't want to be disrespectful to Lonte. It seems to me like this is a very obvious spot, and
obvious spot in which way?
Well, they're dead. Dallas is going to move on. I'm hearing plenty of shows talking about the finals between Dallas and Boston already.
Well, of course, no team has ever come back 0-3.
They finally were able to do something in the fourth quarter, but it does feel like this is. My question becomes: maybe do they let them get one more and close it out in Game 6?
Yeah,
I guess seem like they're fragile at home.
I guess that is the concern. Well, the other thing
Rudy is Luka's bitch.
The Mavs, the Mavs have been good on the road, both straight up and ATS so far in the playoffs.
I would bet the money line like that.
Bet the money line on
for
the
Dallas.
Timberwolves. For Dallas, you're on Dallas.
How dare you?
All right.
Assume I was going to play a minus 200 money.
Because I'm going to go. I think I'm going to stick to my guns and take Dallas plus 5. I think this is a 1 basket game. I am worried, to Lonte's point, I am worried that the Mavs know in the back of their head, hey, if we don't get this, we can come back and close it out at home. I am worried about that. Lonte, how do you see it? So you like Minnesota laying 5. You like them obviously to extend the series here. How do you see the rest of the series shaking out from here?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that Minnesota loses because I got a nice circle weekend bet on Dallas to win the series. But
nice.
Oh hell yeah!
I wrote an article that was published on a website maybe like a few days before the series started. So I had Dallas winning in 6, so I can go 2-0 if they win this game. So it's kind of a mini hedge here, taking that 4.5, 5 in the game. But I do think what happens is that, to you guys' point, Dallas has been somewhat. I mean, you can make a debate. They've been the better team or what have you, just depending on what side you're on. But this is the biggest like pressure situation that they've been in on the road. So I think that Minnesota wraps it up. Not wraps it up. I think Minnesota wins the game, and then Dallas wraps it up Saturday at home. You get the Dallas Wings and the Dallas Mavericks all in one weekend. It's a good weekend to be in Dallas.
I mean, I have reconsidered my take on Dallas versus Boston. Also, other teams in Dallas winning championships that aren't the Cowboys is
the theory of everyone winning in Dallas except the Cowboys. I think PFT commentator might have thrown that out. I love that as a Cowboys hater.
Oh man,
it would make them feel that much of a bigger loser.
That's Jerry Jones.
What if they both win? What if the Wings and Mavericks win one year in 1 year?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That is, and it just makes the loser Cowboys look so much worse.
Well, wait, what's going on? It's the Stars too, or I mean, God, Jesus Christ, this is.
Yeah, I said the Wings. I meant the Stars. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were. I just assumed it was a WNBA
team. I'm sorry.
No. Wait, hold on. So the Wings aren't a WNBA team.
They might be. Google that, Ryan.
I want to see if the Dallas Wings are a WNBA team.
See,
I know ball. Hey, by the way, Lonte, what do you think? Caitlin Clark, not an athlete, right?
Man, you put me on a tough spot.
I'll take it off of you. Yeah, she's still not an athlete.
Kramer is on this.
People now tagging me and shit about like anything positive about Caitlin Clark. I'm getting tagged.
I give her credit though, man. She's like handling it like a champ. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, lie. No, I get it. If I was the same thing, it happened. I've gotten hot in a couple of games before, put up some points, and then all of a sudden the best defender on the floor starts guarding me, and the game changes drastically. Yeah. So
hey, Ryan, I mean, me and you both, I know, and Sean, you too probably enjoy a nice 6-hour session of blackjack. So it's like you hot on that table, and then you see that tap on the shoulder, and they switch them out, and it's like, dang, man, like.
Oh well, it's like the Caitlin Clark 3 is when you got like a 16 against a dealer showing a king, and you hit and you get that 5. Like that's what Caitlin Clark was doing.
I respect.
And eventually you got to know when to color up and be like, all right, little heat check. The tide's turned. Time to go.
I'm just saying. I've watched some of these WNBA teams now. There's some really athletic ladies out there. Caitlin Clark doesn't have the.
I'll say this too, because watching Caitlin Clark in the tournament and then seeing her transition to the WNBA certainly did make me appreciate the athletes in the WNBA because
she's a great player. She's a great player. She's a great player.
Not a great athlete.
She's not a great.
Send all your comments at Kramer Centric. Lonte, before we let you go, what is a player prop you like for the matchup tonight?
Man, I like Naz Reid over 10.5 points. He's been a lot more aggressive at home.
Wow.
I think he's gonna have a monster game. Maybe not 7 threes, but I can see him laddering up to like 5 threes. You can get plus 550 on 4 plus made threes. So I like that as well. I think, and Rudy Gobert is going to be on a short leash. I think once if Lively's out, which I think he will be, and they go small with kind of PJ at the 5, I think Gobert would be pulled off the court. I mean, this is no margin for error here. So I think Naz Reid will be on the court a lot. So give me Naz Reid over 10.5 points and ladder up those threes. You can get plus 550 on 4 plus.
Ryan, this is a perfect transition because Rhythm, aka your source for NBA player props, highly recommend downloading the Rhythm app. RITHMM, get you the 7-day free trial. I fired it up and I was gonna blow Lonte's mind, aka steal whatever Rhythm's best NBA player prop would be, and I shit you not, their number one, where the projection doesn't match the total, is over Naz Reid 10.5 points. So great call by you, Lonte, and great call by Rhythm. Make sure you download the Rhythm app, RITHMM, wherever you get your apps, and get that 7-day free trial.